Hello and welcome to Numeristical, bringing you the picks of the day for Wednesday, August 21st. It is 9:10 in the morning, California time, 10 minutes after noon, East Coast US time. Let's start off, as always, by reviewing the picks from yesterday. So, rough day yesterday. So, Diamondbacks, Marlins. Diamondbacks won 3-1. We had the Marlins at plus 135. I'll say we got a lot of closing line value on that one because by the first pitch, I think the Marlins were down to about plus 110 or 120, something like that. It was actually enough that you could have locked in a profit by betting back the Diamondbacks before the game. Fortunately, you can't always eat closing line value or buy anything with it if it does not realize into actual winnings. So we took a loss there. Twins Padres, this was looking good. Going into the seventh inning, it was 3-1. But then there was a bunch of runs scored late in the game. Went over. Mariners Dodgers similarly was looking good going into the seventh inning. Ended up 6-3, so it was 9 runs total, so we just lost that one. So took a loss of 3 units for the day. We're down 1.4 units combined, totals and money line for the season. Totals models up 10 units. Money line is down 11.4 units. We also had the Marlins plus 1.5, but they lost by 2. So we took a loss there. The spreads model is down 2.85 units for the season. Let's get into today's action, starting with the money lines. So here's the full set of games for today and the probabilities. And after our filters model is telling us to look at 3 home teams and 2 away teams. First home team it likes is the Mets hosting the Orioles. Sean Manaea pitching for the Mets. Model says to bet it if you can get minus 125 on the Mets. Let's take a look. And the Mets, looks like we're getting to minus 127, but not minus 125. Looks like we were maybe a touch late if we'd gotten there yesterday. Might have been able to get this. But you can see they're all these lines are moving in the favor of the Mets, so we just got here a little bit late. So no bet on that game. Next up, Red Sox Astros with Verlander pitching for the Astros. Model says to bet the Astros if you can get minus 133. Let's take a look. And yes, we can get as good as minus 129. In fact, at BetOnline and Bookmaker. So let's go ahead and take the Astros minus 129. Next up, Phillies Braves. Model likes the Braves if you can get minus 104. Let's take a look. Minus 104, yeah, and we can get minus 103 at South Point and BetOnline. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll take the Braves minus 103. Okay, that's it for the home teams. Visiting teams, the White Sox with Garrett Crochet pitching. The model says worth a take at 170. The White Sox having one of the historically bad seasons in Major League Baseball history, but the model is just looking at the players who are playing and says at 170 there's a good bet. Garrett Crochet is having a great season actually, but obviously has not translated into many wins for the team. Pinnacle showing 195, so let's take a look at the White Sox Giants. Yeah, and we can get as high as 207 at Circa. So let's go ahead and do that. White Sox plus 207. My heart sings with joy when we pick the White Sox and the Rockies. Plus 207. And finally, Angels Royals. Model likes the Angels if you can get 146. So Angels 146, yeah, and we can get as high as 156 here at Circa. So take the Angels plus 156. Okay, so 4 bets on the money line today. Let's move on to totals. Here's the set of games we're considering and the points and the probabilities. And Miles telling us to look at 3 unders. First is that Giants White Sox game. So you got Logan Webb and Garrett Crochet, so expect this to be a low scoring game. And even with a point at 7, the model likes the under if you can get minus 115. Let's take a look. White Sox, we'll click over to totals. And 7 under, we can get minus 103 here at Heritage. So let's go ahead and do that. White Sox Giants under 7 minus 103. Under 7 minus 103. Next up, Padres Twins again. Point is 8.5. It likes the under if you can get minus 108. Padres Twins at 8.5. It wants minus 108. Get minus 112, minus 110, but not quite getting to minus 108. So this is just shy of a bet right now. And we still have some at 8. So no bet there. Next up, Dodgers Mariners again. 7.5. It likes the under if you get 104, plus 104. Let's take a look. And that's at 7.5. One's plus 104. We got plus 102. And we got an 8 under at minus 120. So let me recalculate. I don't think minus 120 is going to be enough for us to take the 8, but let me do a quick recalculation. Yeah, and at 8, it still wants minus 115. So 8, 120 is not quite enough to get us what we want. So no bet on that game. So for the totals, we've just got one, which is the White Sox Giants under 7. Let's move over to the spreads model. Here's the set of games and the probabilities. And so let's look at 2 home teams, 2 away teams. So again, likes the Mets minus 1.5 if you can get 158. So Mets minus 1.5 at plus 158 it wants, and we're getting 160 here at Superbook in South Point. So we'll do that. Mets minus 1.5 plus 160. Next up, Astros again, minus 1.5. It wants 158. Astros minus 1.5, not quite getting a 158. We're getting 155, but that's all we got. So no bet there. White Sox Giants again. White Sox plus 1.5. It says take it if you can get minus 144. So let's see. White Sox Giants plus 1.5. Yeah, and we're getting as good as minus 110 at plus 1.5. So that looks like a good bet because just off the top of my head, because the total is so low, so 1.5 runs should be worth a lot. So we'll take that. White Sox plus 1.5 minus 110. And finally, the Angels plus 1.5. Model wants minus 128. Angels plus 1.5. And we still have, yeah, exactly minus 128 we can get here at Heritage. So let's do that. Angels plus 1.5 minus 128. Okay, so we got quite a few bets today. We got 4 money line bets: Astros minus 129, Braves minus 103, White Sox plus 207, Angels plus 156. We're taking the White Sox. The Angels also have them against the spread, plus 1.5 runs. And we also got the Mets minus 1.5 at plus 160. And then one totals bet is the White Sox Giants under 7. So, big day. Lots of action to keep track of. Have a great day. That's all I got for now. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.